Hi guys, Al DeMarco here, and this is going to be your Saturday video report. Swept the board with the complimentary plays again on Friday night, giving you both Penn and Harvard. You can see the free pick run right above this video. I've got three more selections coming your way today. Going to start in the Atlantic 10, an early game between Dayton and Duquesne, then swing to the SEC for a nighttime tilt between Alabama and Auburn, and then one of your bracket buster games between George Mason and Northern Iowa. I also have a discount money-saving coupon available for you today as well. Remember those coupons and different types of money-saving offers and deals only available here on the video reports. Trying to do it at least once a week throughout the past year, actually, in fact. Before I get to that, though, let me just quickly talk about bracket buster games. Listen, guys, these bracket buster games, for the large part, are mainly made for television events by that little four-letter television network. The problem with bracket buster games is so many people get enthralled with them. Gamblers love to bet them, handicappers like to release them. They are among the hardest games to win year in, year out. Here's the deal with college basketball. The easiest times to make money in college hoops: preseason action during all the made-for-TV tournaments, the preseason tournaments that are all non-conference play, because at that particular point, the odds makers don't have any more of a handle or a firm grasp on how these teams are going to perform than you do, so it's one of the only times you have the advantage over the line makers. Next time you make money, as far as I've always been concerned in 25 years doing this, is early in conference play. Again, before the odds makers really get a grasp on how these teams are going to do, and also before the teams figure out how they're going to do in conference play. Listen, the second go around, right now, when teams are playing the second of their twice a year games against conference opponents, those are the hardest ones late here in February to win. Why? Because tape is available, coaches know the tendencies, there's no more surprises. The other time to win money, of course, is postseason, whether it's conference or tournament play, the big dance or any of the NITs or the smaller tournaments, because it's a do-or-die situation for every one of those teams. In between, you'll have these bracket buster games. For some of them, these teams playing, these games mean absolutely nothing. I'll give you an example. Last night, Wichita State was an 8.5 to 9-point favorite at home against VCU, a VCU team that got absolutely destroyed by George Mason and Old Dominion in its previous two home games, right? So what happens? VCU naturally wins the game outright. But think about it. VCU was in the must-win situation tonight, coming off the two straight losses. It was on the NCAA bubble, right? But Wichita State, listen, the only thing that mattered for Wichita State here as we stand this morning, yes, they would have liked to have won that game. It would have definitely helped their RPI. But what matters to Wichita State is winning the Missouri Valley Conference regular season title if possible, and without a doubt, trying to win the Missouri Valley Conference tournament to earn the automatic bid. So again, you have to be very, very careful with these bracket buster games. Before I get going with your first preview, and it's going to be the bracket buster game between George Mason and Northern Iowa, let me give you that discount coupon. It is going to be bracket 25. Bracket 25, no space between the word bracket and the number 25. That'll save you $25 off any single purchase you make today. It's a one-time usage coupon. You don't have to buy my plays, guys. You can buy anybody's plays on the site or buy anybody's package and apply it toward there. It's totally up to you. Bracket 25 will save you $25 off of any single purchase price. Now, let's talk about George Mason and Northern Iowa. This George Mason team is, incredibly hot. They've won 12 in a row on the floor. They've covered 13 straight. They've won and covered 6 in a row on the road. Their last 8 wins have come by 14 points or more. They're coming off a win at Virginia Commonwealth, as I alluded to earlier, as a 1.5-point road dog by 71 to 51, a 20-point blowout margin on Tuesday night. And they're a 3.5-point favorite in this game at Northern Iowa this evening, a game that is scheduled to go at 7 o'clock Eastern time. So why do I like George Mason in this one? Well, one, they're a very good three-point shooting team. The other thing is that this Northern Iowa team has really fallen apart here in the past couple of weeks because of a key injury to their sixth man, a guy by the name of Lucas O'Rear, 6'6", 260-pound banger, averaging 7 points and 6 rebounds a game. Again, he is their key sixth man. Now, since he went out, what happened? Northern Iowa lost at home by 18 points to Wichita State, the same Wichita State team that lost last night to VCU at home, the same VCU team that George Mason beat on VCU's floor by 20 points this past Tuesday. You see the correlation here. Then they went ahead, this being Northern Iowa. They lost by 8 at Evansville and by 3 at Drake. And Drake's one of the worst teams in that conference, guys. Their lone win, they snapped the 3-game losing streak by beating another awful team, Bradley, a couple of nights ago. So I'll go ahead and lay the 3.5 points with George Mason in this one. Wouldn't be surprised if this one goes up to 4 by game time. 7 o'clock Eastern Time tip-off tonight in the SEC. It's Alabama playing in revenge against Arkansas. The Crimson Tide, a 10.5-point favorite. I will go with them in this one. The Razorbacks 1-4 on the SEC highway, both straight up and against the spread this season. 2-5-1 ATS slump for the Hogs. Last in the SEC in terms of rebounding. Alabama, definitely the better defensive team here, seeking revenge. They're on a 7-1 straight up an ATS run since losing at Fayetteville, 70-65 back on January 15th. They're 5-0 straight up and against the spread in home conference play this season. They're allowing an SEC low 58 points a game. They're 7-1 as a home favorite versus the odds makers this year. Number 6 in the nation in scoring defense. This Alabama team is number 3 in terms of field goal defense, allowing opponents to shoot just 37% from the field, and they also average almost 10 steals a game. So I'll take Bama minus the points in revenge. Your final game, another revenge contest. I will go with Dayton as the 2.5-point home dog against Duquesne. The Flyers lost 82-64 at Duquesne as an 8-point road dog back on January 20th, committing 20 turnovers in that game. Yes, they've lost 2 of their last 3 home games, but 2 of those losses came against Temple and Richmond, 2 of the top teams, right in the A-10, right behind Xavier. I'm going to go with Dayton here to win this one. They are the far better rebounding team. In fact, they're number 18 in the nation in rebounding, number 1 in the A-10, averaging 39 a game. And listen, Duquesne is a miserable free throw shooting team. 62% from the charity stripe this season, 317th ranked in the nation. In a close game, which I anticipate today, I'll take the better rebounding team, the better defensive team, the team that shoots better from the free throw line. Dayton to pull the upset as a 2.5-point dog. Good luck, everybody. Catch you again on Sunday.